Hey everybody, Jen here, just doing a quick day in the oily life. So I just wanted to share with you what I've been doing for the last 2 to 3 days since I noticed I had a little something on my lip. So every now and then when I have digestive problems, I'll have like bite my bite my cheek or something, and like I'll bite my lip or something, and then an abrasion will happen. So, and then with the dry air in the house now, with the heat being on because it's so cold at night now, basically I take showers and it still doesn't help. And we don't have a lot of humidifiers in the house. So what I've been doing is I've been having to try to keep my skin as moist as I can. Now, with my severe sensitivities to a lot of things, I can't put a lot of stuff on my face, especially lotions and stuff, because it's just something about the skin on my face is so sensitive that I have issues with putting stuff on my face. So what I ended up doing right now is I ended up remembering that I have chapstick from Young Living. And I didn't have the one that I had before, which was a grapefruit one. I mean, I have it, but I was kind of tired, and I'm like, you know what? I know lavender is really good for a lot of stuff. It's very good for the skin. It's very good for skin health and things like that. So I'm like, let me try the lavender one. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little nervous because I thought maybe the lavender would make me really sleepy, but I've been using the other lavender stuff in my CBD roll-on and stuff like that, and I've been fine. It's just enough. It's not going to make me super sleepy, and I've been using lavender regardless. So I tried it the other day, and I love it. I actually do love it. It's got such a nice, subtle scent, and it just makes my lips amazing. And I love just the way that this company makes chapstick, because you don't have to worry about it being weird and having all those other petrochemicals and shit in it that like the other companies do. So what I used to do when I first got my kit, about 6 months after I got my kit, I was gifted a chapstick from doing an event. So from one of my uplines or crossline or friend of the group, basically. And I started using it. And actually back then I wasn't keeping my gluten down, so I would break out all over my face and stuff because of my allergic reaction to gluten. Suffice it to say that I, had a lot of reactions to things. And it's not like I could put anything on my face to calm it down, because I would always have complications with over-the-counter stuff and medications and things like that. So I just kind of had to suffer through it. So when I ended up actually getting this chapstick, not this one specifically, but the other one, I ended up just actually kind of going like this, using the little bit here, and then rubbing it on my abrasions. Now, granted, I got a new one recently because I learned that some of the aid that she was making some of the stuff for dinner ended up having gluten in it. And so, of course, my oils in my face decided to react a little bit differently. So, of course, I got an abrasion. So basically what I do is I just, like you saw, I just take the chapstick and I rub it right on there, because it's got stuff in here that's very good. It's got oils for help support the skin structure. And I also, on occasion, when I have like a lavender's very good. It's like our whatever you consider safety knife, Swiss Army knife we call it, of the oils. That's why it's in the kit. That's why we love it in the kit. Frankincense is our king of all oils, we say, because, king of all oils, it's a thing. So, like, second to the best one would be your lavender. So, the fact that they're universally, you can use for, like, basically almost everything. And then, when this was, like, really raw, what I ended up doing is I went and took my CBD oil rub. Well, it's actually not even an oil. It's it's just a rub. I gotta fill this up with my other main one. And now that I have nails, I notice that I get stuck with it. So it's kind of in there, down a little bit in there. But I just take this and I rub it on there to form a nice layer and to, help with any kind of pain management that I need, which you don't really need much when you have a little abrasion. And if anybody else knows me, you know me, if you've been following me along, I use this like for all the ouchies and bumps and scrapes and things that I have, to put a supportive layer over and to make sure that it's okay. Now, I've been using, like, the Neosporin and stuff like that on the other stuff when I didn't have this stuff, and it was okay, it worked okay. But then it also's got other stuff in it, too, that I don't really like, my body doesn't handle very well. So for me, being super, super sensitive, I have to find alternate avenues. Also, the other day when my final order came in the mail, I ended up getting my Calm CBD oil roll-on. And this thing is the shit, guys. This is my ultimate new favorite roller. Like, and I use this at work constantly lately. And especially since my irritability, because it's that time of the month, and the fact that it's next week's going to be an 1 month anniversary where I broke up with my ex. And it's been very hard on me. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be transparent. It's been very hard on me. Trying to relearn to not be connected to an individual outside of yourself, to missing all the good times even though the good times weren't really done. And then you of course get the mind issues where you're like, oh, but it was this and I have to go back, and you're kind of like longing for that, and it's just kind of like putting yourself into another thing and staying strong with the fact that you know the bad was way more outnumbered than the good. Because when you're in these spots, all you really want is just the good part to come back. So but what I do with this is I sit here and I just, on my bad days like I'm having today, I'm just sitting here and I'll just smell it, and then I do this. At work I do this and I put it underneath my mask, and all around my throat and on my chest too. Because this one, it doesn't have things that you have to worry about. It's already pre-diluted too. And then on my wrists. And actually also on the backs of my ears and my earlobes, because that's pulse points, and it will help. And on the back of your earlobe, it'll help with the stress, reducing the stress. It has something to do with the meridians in your body. So this is all what I do. And this has got CBD oil in it too, which helps. My tolerance is actually pretty high with CBD. This is just a 300 milligram. They have another one that's higher than this, but I use this and I'm fine. Some people are very sensitive to it, so a little bit would go a long way if you're not used to it, because you got to build up, like, you're used to it, and you got to, basically, I say detox out of the other stuff that have the chemicals in it. Then you start low and then you go higher. So when your body's like detox and it doesn't have all that other stuff that's a chemical in it, or it's something you're putting in your body that's got more chemicals in it, your body will react more to the CBD, because it's an actual non-compromised CBD aspect of it. Sorry, I keep looking out the door, and there's a lot of people going down to the gardens right now because they're redoing the garden, so I keep seeing the cars because I switched it around in my room, so the window's facing me so the light works a little bit better. So anyways, I use that, and this, it's more of a, I've got the other two that I got from the Black Friday sale last year, which was specifically one time only, which was the Breathe one, which had our Breathe Again combination in it, and the Thieves one, which has got our Themes combo. But this is the one that they sell all year round, which is the Calm one, and I didn't get it right away, and I finally got it, and I'm like, I can understand why it's like their best seller now, because it smells so awesome. It's not really flowery, but it's not really, like, it's groundy, but it's not super groundy, if you know what I mean. Like, if you know patchouli, like, that what they say is, like, the hippies thing, it doesn't smell like patchouli. Now, that's a really grounding, earthy one. This is, like, kind of in the middle, kind of like a forest, I'd say, and I love forest type things, like pine and stuff like that. Now, I'll read off to you again what's in here. So, there is all sorts of essential oils, like carrier oils, that are really good for your skin. I went to a party 2 years ago now, where it was talking, or maybe it was last year. No, it was 2 years, about carrier. Sorry, someone's got music on. Oh, it's a kid. I'm like, I didn't know if Graham had the TV on or something, but he's still sleeping. It threw me off from it there. I thought I was like hearing things. The kid must have had some kind of Bluetooth thing hooked up to his music on his bike and then went down the road. Sorry about that. So anyways, it's got a lot of those oils in it that are really good for carrier oils for skin, and like jojoba oil and argan oil and olive oil and grapeseed oil and all these hemp oil and things like that. It's all that stuff's in here. So we've got apricot, avocado, argan. There's camellia, evening primrose, which is really cool. Hemp, rose hip, sweet almond, of course the CBD, vetiver, lavender, orange, yangling, frankincense. Those are all in here, and it's really cool. Now, if you want more information about what the CBD is in here and all that stuff, I have more information on that. You can follow Nature's Ultra on Facebook here. It's a company that we partnered with Young Living partnered with. And then they actually ended up, they were one of the best companies that had the best ways of making sure everything was pure and not adulterated and put with fillers. And then when they partnered with Young Living put in more regulations so that everything is tip-top shape, you know, nothing goes under the radar or anything like that. And that everything is by FDA approved throughout all the states, not just one or the other. So that's why on a lot of the tinctures, the ones in the bottles, you'll see that it's not for internal use, because per FDA regulations right now, we cannot say that you can internalize it. So we say that you basically put it on your body wherever you need it, and then you do it that way. Whereas other companies say that it's okay to internalize it. It depends on what you want to do personally, how you do it. I just put it on everything. Everybody's different. And then I just put this on outside too. So we strongly follow along with the FDA. We don't go against the FDA. That is what makes our company, this company, Young Living, one of the top companies. So we follow the rules, because if you don't follow the rules, then you can get in trouble. So anyways, this one's 300. There's a 1,000 milligram one. Same thing with the rub, with the muscle rub. It used to be called joint and muscle rub, but per FDA regulations, they had to change the label again because we want everything to be correct. So we did a lot of that stuff. But basically, this is all what I use right now for my face, because I can't put my lotion that I have normally on my face. So what I end up doing is now with the CBD, actually, this one I put a little bit on here, but it does have like a menthol type of not menthol, wintergreen? I don't know. Like a pepperminty type of a thing. So don't put it anywhere really close to your eyes unless you're used to having like that kind of a little bit, like, it's a little bit strong and it's kind of going into my eyes a little bit, even if it's down here. I'm used to that, so I don't mind that. You know, it doesn't hurt me or anything. Somebody else who's more sensitive to it won't really like that. So that's just what I do personally. But this kind of stuff, like this, I could roll this on it right now. See? Because this has got lavender and it doesn't have one of those more stronger smelling oils that are in it. Yeah. And then that's what I do. And the Thieves one will have more of a warming sensation, only because it's got thieves. It's got cinnamon in it, which is more of a warmer oil. It's called hot oil. So always make sure that you're following the directions. If you have any questions, I am here also to help, and I have upline support as well, which is awesome about this too, because I'm not just dumped into some group or signed up with some random people that don't know what they're talking about. And they're like, oh yeah, you just bought from me. Woohoo, now you're on your own. You know, I don't like companies like that. It's pretty much the job that I'm in right now is turning into that, and I don't like that. And that's why I stick with this company, and I keep going with the company, because that is just what I stand for, and it aligns up with what I stand for. So anyways, and then beyond that, I just, you know, I try to do some good stuff. I mean, like, granted, I have been drinking my Dr. Pepper, which is not good. I was doing water for a good 2 weeks, but like I said, we all jump off the bandwagon every now and then when we're not having a good night or day or whatever. And this is my Vitality Peppermint Infused Water. I have basically, it's not here, it's in my other purse, but it's basically this peppermint with the Vitality label that I put in here. Because Vitality is labeled specifically for ingestion. That one's not. So, even though it's the same oil, whatever. Exact same oil, different label per FDA regulations, so that's different too. But anyways, we will rather go through the annoyance of having to print double labels for the exact same oil just to make sure that FDA is appeased, and they say that you can't have an oil for both ingestion and external application when they do exactly the same thing. So it's all kind of funny, but we'd rather follow the rules than not, because if you follow the rules, then you're tip-top, ship-shape, and all that. But anyways, that's what I do, and then now what I'm going to end up doing is listening to some music and trying to get out of my head funk, because that's when we all get in trouble. We all get in trouble with the head funk and then thinking about different things and things like that. So actually what I might end up doing too, which is actually what I did the other day, is I put some Christmas spirit, because I know it's early and it's October, but oh well. With 2020, we need a lot more happy up feelings, so more power towards Christmas spirit. I'm going to put some Christmas spirit in the diffuser. Now, Christmas spirit, it's like Christmas cookies. Is got, I'll read you what it's in it. It actually lifts up the room too. So of course it's got orange, cinnamon, and black spruce in it. So just 3 simple ones. Cinnamon is the main note in this, and then orange is for uplifting. The orange and citrus oils are very good for lifting up the spirit. Now mind you, if you're using citrus oils, make sure they're in glass containers. Don't use them in plastic, because the constituents in the oil itself will break down the really low-grade plastics, and you don't want to do that, because then you get the plastics in the thing, and it's just bad. So don't do that. And word to the wise, don't put it in your diffuser, or I mean in your humidifier, like that you get at a store. Like I got one of those bigger humidifiers from the store a couple years back, and I was putting like citrus, like in that big gigantic thing of water, the gallon thing of water, I was putting 1 or 2 or 10 drops in, and then it destroyed the plastic rim around the suction thing, so don't do that. That's how strong these oils are. They're so concentrated, guys. They're not like those Dollar General health store ones. They're concentrated. That's why the price is the way it is, because it's not just some adulterated, watered down anything. So just be aware of that. This shit's the deal. It's the real stuff here. And then, of course, at night I do the, well, I was doing eucalyptus globulus, but I kind of ran out of that one. So I have a whole bunch of eucalyptus radiata in my overstock. So I've been using actually the radiata, which is a little more citrusy noted one. It smells a little more citrusy. It's a little more not as dense smelling, like earthy. And actually that's been working pretty good at night too. So I'm going to have to get some more globulus though. That is definitely my go-to for breathing. But it's awesome. So yeah, these are all the different things that I use day to day, especially when I'm feeling not so good and doing stuff and like all in my head, and I gotta get out of my head funk. There'll probably be a couple other things that I see, you know, and I also like register with my crystals, because crystals help me out a lot too. So I'll, these are 2 of my really recent purchases, my labradorite. Ooh, there's that blue shine right there. And then my rose quartz to help me bring in more love and to love myself, help me love myself more and not have to rely on outside people and things to make me happy. So I'm doing a lot of shadow work too, and a lot of that other stuff. So just so that I can get out of my head funk and don't make bad choices, because that's where we get into trouble. Like if I didn't have all these things here with me right now, I'd be totally making bad choices. I'd be going back to the gluten to make myself feel better for even that small little fix. I'd be, you know, making bad choices, going back talking to exes that I don't need to, getting involved in more drama than I don't need to. So this is all helping me stay calm, stay the line, stay the path, and just be okay with not feeling 100%, and being okay with just not being okay. Oh, and then of course my necklace. I always have my necklace. Oh, she's sparkling today. Ooh, sparkle, sparkle. And I've been losing weight, so I fit into all my other stuff now, and all my other clothes are super baggy because I've been staying away from wheat, so that's awesome. I am actually, I think, last time I checked, I was 146 point something. And that was with my bloat from my monthly issue. So this is interesting. We'll see. So alright, I'm going to get off because it's like 20 minutes and I know it was really long, but I just wanted you guys to know what I do during the days or whatever and what products I use trying to get outside of my own funk when I have these off days. All right. Love, light, and blessings, everybody. Namaste. Follow me on YouTube. And actually, there's another thing now. I'm going to start uploading them up to brand new tube or brand new YouTube, which, because there's a lot of like Facebook censoring people and YouTube starting to censor people, Instagram starting to censor people. They're getting really weird. So I don't know what's going to happen with different accounts. And so I'm jumping over there too. So I set up my account. I'll have to see how that goes and go from there. But follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and then follow me now on brand new tube. All right, where things aren't censored and you can speak your actual mind and not be offended or get offended or any of that stuff. So each to their own. All right, love, light, and blessings, everybody. Namaste. Have a good Saturday. Bye.